는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Min-Soo Shin. BEFM 부산영어방송.
Hello, 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 and happy Monday to you all. This is Inside Out Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Today's a very special day. November 20th marks World Children's Day. So happy World Children's Day to you all. Observed on November 20th every year. And it's a day dedicated to the little ones who make our lives beautiful. So the day is also observed to raise awareness around children's rights as well as improving their welfare. So our city is getting up in it, right? Recognizing today's special day by lighting up 8 major landmarks here in Busan with UNICEF's symbolic blue color, and this is taking place throughout tonight. So, did you catch the light?
Love
And to start off our show, that was Stevie Wonder with "Isn't She Lovely?" And hopefully that's something that I think all parents and just all adults in general can say just about children, right? And especially on a day like today. November 20th is World Children's Day, and we're celebrating that here, not only here on Inside of Busan, but in Busan in general, in our city. Well, before that, welcome to the program. My name is Min-Soo Shin, and you are tuned in to Inside of Busan. Good evening. Happy Monday to you all. How was your weekend? 주말 어땠습니까? 좀 많이 추웠죠. 많이 추웠다가 좀 따뜻해지다가 눈 오다가 네, 주말에 날씨가 장난 아니었습니다. But it's Monday. I'll give you an update on the weather later on. But pretty nippy, right? I do hope that everybody's taking care. As you can hear, I sound a little better compared to last week. 조금씩 나아지고 있는 것 같은데요. 이번 감기는 조금 오래 남습니다, 여러분. Right? The cold that's going around these days, it stays with you, right? It's no longer like a 2-3 day kind of thing. Well, at least it usually is for me when it comes to catching a cold. But I don't know. This time around, whew, I've never experienced, my throat hurting and coughing so much compared to other colds. So everybody, take care, okay? So as I said, World Children's Day falls on November 20th every year. And it's to commemorate the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. And this is something put out by the UN General Assembly on the same day back in 1959. So here in Busan, which was certified as a UNICEF child-friendly city back in May of 2019, we are doing our best to actively participate in this event. And our city has also emphasized our commitment to children's rights. So, as I mentioned, to celebrate today, World Children's Day, a lot of places, not only here in our city, but around the world, are being lit up in blue. Yunisefblue celebrates in Busan. This is the event that's happening specifically in our city to light up a number of major landmarks in the Yunisefblue to show that we are in support of World Children's Day. And not just that, we are in support of protecting children, making sure that their rights are ensured, right? And that their welfare is protected. So a couple of the landmark attractions here in Busan that will be lit up in blue, just to let you know, I don't want you to go to look up and go, oh, they turned on the wrong switches, right? Of Guan Bridge, let's say. No, they did that on purpose. So the 8 major landmarks here in Busan include Guan Bridge, Durimaru, Busan City Hall, Busan Bank Headquarters, Busan Tower, Busan Cinema Center, Hwangyeonsan Transmission Tower, and the Haeundae LCT building. So all 8 will be lit up in UNICEF's symbolic blue color tonight. So as you look up at some of these landmark attractions and think to yourself, wow, that's right. Min-Soo mentioned today being World Children's Day, so that's why it's lit up in blue. Let's all try to keep, the same childlike spirit within us, right, in our own lives, and that would make things a bit happier for everybody, right? If we had the just a little bit, like a tiny bit, an ounce, let's say, of just what children think and how they think and how they feel. I think that little bit of empathy can go a long way in terms of making children feel that they are also just members of our society, and not just kids who are, just people that need to be told around what to do, right? And don't have value, and don't have, important and value in their own voice and opinions, right? We need to make them feel, even in their own age, that they are important and proper members of society. So on a day like today, I do hope that you keep that in mind as we all celebrate World Children's Day. So, in light of World Children's Day, I thought it'd be a fun little question to ask our listeners. What do you think's better, being a kid or being an adult? Simply said. And tell me why. I mean, if you had the option, would you rather live as a kid or as an adult? And tell me your reason why. This is going to be good. 선택할 수 있다면 여러분 어른으로 살기와 아이로 살기 어느 쪽이십니까? 그리고 이유도 꼭 말해주세요. 일단 뭐 저는 두 개로 다 살아봤잖아요. 일단 한쪽은 다 계속 살아보고 있고, right? And as a kid, I've lived my life as a kid. If I'm gonna weigh my options, I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more. I want to hear what you think. What you think first, and what you have to say. I'm gonna take a little bit of your opinions too, and then I'll have my final judgment. But this one's hard. 이 질문은 조금 생각보다 좀 어렵습니다. Let me know your thoughts. Pound 9050 샵 9050 will cost you 100 won. You could let us know on our Kakao Talk, which is for free, or you could let me know on our YouTube. We are live over there. So would you rather be a child or an adult? And tell me why. Time for today's News Bites. All right, folks. Now we have the representative adult here in the studio, Annie, BFM's newscaster. Hello, Annie.
Hi. I'm not sure I'm that much of an adult.
아니에요. 저보단 더 어른일 겁니다. Annie, how was your weekend?
Uneventful but eventful. Having some health issues.
Yeah.
That was eventful.
Same here, buddy. Same here. But uneventful is a good thing, right? In you and I's situations. But Annie, same question for you that I'm throwing to our listeners. As a person that is living as an adult, but have lived as a kid, I think that's probably for everybody, unless you're a kid.
True.
Right? Which would you rather be? Or which would you rather continue to live as, a kid or an adult?
Having experienced both, personally for myself and for everyone else, I recommend being an adult. But a young adult?
How much younger do you want to be as a young adult?
I'm still in my 20s.
Yeah, right?
I say
that's plenty young.
But early 20s is too young. I say late 20s, early 30s is pretty good age.
Oh.
You're kind of settled in where you are.
Yeah.
You can travel. You
Those
have
are-
options.
Those were dark times in my life. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on who you are, but
Yeah.
you can eat whatever you want.
True. Oh, so you're kind of cheating because you're talking about the borderline between a kid, right at the end of you being a kid, and right at the beginning of when you're going to be an adult, or when you're an adult.
I think
doing adult things.
Our YouTube streamers saw my face, but
Yeah.
how is late 20s a kid?
I mean, because as you explained, you're still having fun.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, okay, I see what you
And
mean.
here in Korea, it's very much accepted that even into maybe, let's say you're mid to, I don't know, maybe sometimes even you're late 20s sometimes, it's okay to live with your parents if you're not yet married, right?
Right.
That's the norm here in Korea. So no need to worry about, bills or anything or rent or anything. So I think that's the difference between living in the U.S. and maybe living here in Korea in terms of if you're this age, you should have this amount of responsibilities.
Right.
I think you get a little bit more of that in the U.S. Right?
Well, I like the freedoms that comes with being an adult in
That's
society
true.
in general.
That's true.
You can vote.
So Annie's answer is both or neither.
I mean, more adult, but I do like the freedom of being a child, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
So Annie's being very fickle with her answer, listeners. We're gonna have to tune in,
Fickle.
see if she gives an actual one later on. But thank you so much for sharing.
Yep.
What do you got for us today?
Right, first, the prosecution launched its first mandatory investigation today that's in connection with the case of Deputy Chief Prosecutor at the Suwon District Prosecutor's Office, Lee Jung-seop, who was accused of various misconduct allegations. This actually comes a month since the Democratic Party filed a complaint with the prosecution against this Deputy Prosecutor Lee. There's a suspicion of misconduct by prosecutor was first raised by Representative Kim Eui-kyum of the Democratic Party last month. The Seoul Central District Prosecutor's Office has sent prosecutors and investigators to Yongin Country Club Golf Course and the Elysian Gangchun Ski Resort in Chuncheon to execute a search and warrant. And they are reportedly securing data on reservations, entry, and payments that took place on the golf courses as well as the resorts.
Okay. Do you have details of the allegations?
Of course I do. So at the time, Democratic Party Representative Kim claimed that through evidence, including a tip-off, there was suspicion that the deputy prosecutor looked into the criminal records of golf course employees at the request of his brother-in-law, who runs the golf course, which is technically illegal, right?
Yeah.
He also claimed that he made anonymous reservations for senior and junior prosecutors to use the golf course at a low cost and even provided carts and caddies for their convenience. And then in addition to this, Deputy Prosecutor E was invited to stay at the Elysian Gangchun Ski Resort on Christmas Eve back in 2020 with his family and acquaintances. And there were suspicions that the arrangements were raised by the vice chairman of a chaebol group that he had actually been investigating.
Okay.
Sneaky.
So things are starting to unfold, it seems like, being brought to light. So I'm sure our listeners have noticed, this same can be said for just all governments, all types of politics around the world, but especially here in Korea, transparency is key, most important. Hence this story. All right, thank you so much for that update. What's next?
Right, just two quick updates. First, the government's administrative computer network, which had been down for 3 days, I reported on this on Friday, is back up and running like normal.
Yeah.
But it is being pointed out that this crash was the result of various issues that were overlooked or ignored in the past, and it basically came crashing down all at once.
Yeah.
Even with the systems back to normal, officials have not been able to provide the exact cause of the network error, as well as the reason why a software update, which has now been revealed to be the cause of the system failure, was done on a weekday.
Yeah. A lot of backlash
Yes.
in response to just the service going down. I had no idea it was going to be this big. I was like, oh, okay, must be a bug. Like some people said
Right.
update, probably. But then a lot of people were like, on a day like today, right? On a weekday, on a Friday.
When people are rushing.
When things are due, right? So, yeah, it seems like probably things will be brought to light in terms of actual reasons for it not working. And yeah, who knows who's going to take responsibility for that, right?
Right.
What's the other small update that you have?
Right. The second update was that TEPCO, or Tokyo Electric Power Company, announced today that the third release of the Fukushima nuclear power plant wastewater, or treated water per the Japanese government, has been completed. And as planned, they released roughly 7,800 tons of wastewater into the ocean over a period of 19 days. All relevant authorities have reported no abnormalities after doing their regular water test and fish tests. And the next round of wastewater release, which is the fourth, is scheduled to begin early next year.
Yeah, which is not too long from now. And I know there are a good amount of people like on the edge of their seats, right, waiting for those results to come out. Do, continue to provide just our listeners on updates on that. We have time for one last bit of news. Let's go international this time.
Right. We're going to Argentina today. So Javier Milei, who is a right-wing libertarian, has won Argentina's presidential elections in the provisional results on Sunday local time, basically in the hopes that this outsider, he is technically an outsider, with radical views will be able to fix their struggling economy. Argentina is currently facing triple-digit inflation rates, which is one of the world's highest. They are also having a looming recession and rising poverty.
Goodness.
His rival, Sergio Massa, conceded the runoff vote on Sunday evening in a very brief speech, even before the official results were announced. And he announced that he had already called Milei to congratulate him on his win. Provisional results so far show Milei with over 55% of votes, with more than 94% of the votes counted, according to the data from the country's National Electoral Chamber, which has not actually declared an official winner yet.
But the numbers show, right? So a new leader has taken, place in Argentina. Tell us a little bit about who Milei is, as well as things that he promised his citizens.
Right. I don't know if you've seen a photo of him, but he's a very interesting character. His fans call him the Crazy or the Wig due to his interesting hairstyle.
Oh, okay.
He is a 53-year-old economist who is actually successful as a media personality, as an economic pundit on Argentinian TV shows.
Where have I heard this before?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
they do compare him to Donald Trump, the Donald Trump of Argentina. His main pledge is his economic plan for Argentina to replace the local currency, which is currently the peso, with the U.S. dollar. He has spoken in favor of loosening the country's labor laws and promoted a vision of this smaller government to boost economic growth. So this will basically see half of the government ministries eliminated.
Oh.
The worrying part here is it includes the health ministry and the education ministry.
Ooh, a lot of people gonna probably have
Right.
stuff to say about that. Yes.
He also opposes feminist policies and abortion and rejects the notion that humans have a role in causing climate change.
Interesting.
Interesting. for
Interesting.
sure.
Now, as there is a reason why he got voted in, because that many people voted for him probably, and that many people,
He's-
support him.
Quite popular with the younger generation because
Yeah.
he did propose a lot of measures to counter this inflation rate that
Yeah.
is ruining their lives basically.
We're just gonna have to see how a person like this, works out with other country leaders and other countries in general, because you're not flying solo in this planet called Earth, right?
I hear Brazil's leader is very happy about this win.
Okay, so we're gonna see how this pans out. Annie, that will do it for today's News Bites. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have yourself a good Monday night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Me and my girlies, we gon' party till it's early. Got me feeling otherworldly tonight. Caught in some traffic, but the radio was blasting. Drop a red light and we're saying goodbye. Ooh, I like the morning, feel like magic. I got all I need, nothing else can beat the way that I feel when I'm dancing with my girls. Perfect energy, yeah, we flawless, yeah, we free. There's no better feeling in the whole wide world. Tonight, I don't care what's wrong or right. Don't stop blowing up my line. I can't read 11:59, but nothing comes after midnight. Come and take a ride with me. I got a credit card and some good company. Some come through, but the fit real good. Why use this type of running way? Lean on you, babe. Ooh, night to morning, leave slow motion. I got all I need, nothing else can beat the way that I feel when I'm dancing with my girls. Perfect energy, yeah, we flawless, yeah, we free. There's no better feeling in the whole wide world. Tonight, I don't care what's wrong or right. Don't stop blowing on my line. I can't read 11:59, but nothing comes after midnight. By the morning, feel like magic. I got all I need, nothing else can beat the way that I feel when I'm dancing with my girls. Perfect energy, yeah, we flawless, yeah, we free. There's no better feeling in the whole wide world. Tonight, I don't care what's wrong or right. Don't stop blowing up my line. I can't wait 11:59. Don't stop blowing up my line.
And that was La Seraphim with Perfect Night. And I do hope it's being a perfect night for everybody out there. Welcome to the show. It's 6:32 on the dot. I just want to give you a very even time. You are tuned into the first hour of Inside Out Busan. I'm your host, Min Soo Shin. How goes it? Happy Monday evening to you all. Let me give you a quick update on what the weather and traffic is looking like here in Busan. Weather-wise, 11 degrees Celsius our city is averaging. Tomorrow, expecting morning low of 7 and afternoon high of 18. So pretty wide in terms of just lows and highs. In terms of air quality, it will remain decent all day tomorrow under bright skies, so good news. The temperature fluctuations, it has left a lot of people like myself battling cold, so do take care. Wear masks in crowded areas, wash your hands frequently. You know the drill, right? 내일 부산은 맑겠고요. 아침에만 춥겠습니다. 일교차 때문에 감기가 많이 걸리니 조심하세요. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on the Name Express from Daejeon Interchange going towards Mandok Interchange. And there's also congestion on Gayadero from Daegum Junction going towards Dongide Eogwi Junction. And then we have slow-moving traffic on Byeonglo from Hwaedong Junction going towards Suyong Tunnel. Everybody, drive safe and be safe. 안전 운전 부탁드리겠습니다. All right, listeners. So today we are celebrating World Children's Day. Not only here in Insera Busan, but Busan City is celebrating it. A couple of the major landmarks, 8 in total, will be lit up in blue to, I guess, symbolize the UNICEF and this is to get people just to recognize that, Busan also being recognized as a UNICEF child-friendly city. We are also in celebration of this very special day because we also want to promote child safety, children's rights, and their welfare. So on a day like today, as we're thinking about, our children, the future of our society, of our city, of our country, I want you to think back when you were a kid and compare that to your life right now. Kind of sad, right? But there are the goods and the bads of both. So I want you to weigh those goods and the bads and tell me right now, if you had to pick, would you rather want to live as a kid or would you want to live as an adult? Okay, so could be an easy question for some, a very hard question for others. So it's a pretty tough one for myself. Let's see how hard it is for our resident Riddler, who is here in the studio waiting for his chance at the mic. Hello, Andrew.
How's it going?
That mustache coming in
It is
mighty
coming in
gloriously.
thick, yes. And I got a haircut yesterday as well, so I think
did.
it makes it a little more pronounced.
It highlights
Less
it.
hair up here, more hair here.
Party down there, right? But looking good, Andrew. So same question for you in light of World Children's Day and everything. Harkening back to your good old days when you were a kid, right?
The old stomping grounds,
Yeah.
right?
And comparing that to your life right now.
I mean,
Why'd you go all quiet?
No. I just think it's one of those questions where, am I able to go back to when I was a kid and know what I know now? Or do I have that same simple brain that I had when I was younger? And when I say simple, that means straight through until now, essentially. I mean, I don't know when I would want to go back to.
It's
want to
too
be
situational.
Exactly.
If you think of it that way. So let's have you. So if I gave you a pill right now, you'd wake up and then you'd just be
in high school.
In high school, let's say, and no knowledge of what awaits you in your future.
Yeah, it was stressful, but high school for me, I know high school for kids here in Korea is a little bit different, especially just the other day in the Sunung and everything like that.
Yeah.
But, I played sports. I was heavily involved in my school, daily life, everything like that. So I think I would love to go back to that. But again, I also don't know how long I'd want that for.
Same here.
Yeah.
I think.
It's like when my university friends say, yeah, wouldn't it be great? I'm like, for a weekend. I'd like to go back and have the good old days for a weekend because I don't think my body could survive any more than that.
맞아요. But just the amount of freedom that you have as an adult.
Yeah.
Too. And the choices that, you're allowed to make without having to confer with your parents or...
Sure, but I think the choices you have now, the repercussions that come with them are a little bit more or higher, essentially.
That's
but
true.
When I was a kid, I don't know. Middle school or elementary school, I don't know. But I'd just go back and just be free.
Oh, you've actually made it harder for me to choose between the two, right?
Yes.
All right, yeah, listeners, I'm going to take Andrew's response to heart, but I still got to hear from you. Okay, let me know. Would you rather be a kid? Would you rather be an adult? Okay, the question is simple. The answer could be a tough one. Let us know. Let's get to today's 5분 상식. Time for today's 5분 상식, getting our listeners in the know of some of the most trending, useful, need-to-know words and expressions. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간인데요. Today, Andrew, you and I, we're going to get our listeners in the know of something. 네, 최근 뉴스에도 안타까운 사고 소식들이 들렸는데요. 겨울철 캠핑 질식사고 예방법에 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
This is the essence of camping. Just look at this vast forest. The fresh air.
자기야, 별로. 그리고 조심해. Be careful. Remember what we saw in the news about the elderly couple and their grandson? Oh, that was so heartbreaking. The carbon monoxide. It's really scary, Andrew.
Come on, honey. There are millions of campers out here. We'll be fine.
자기야. Carbon monoxide is super dangerous. Andrew, please, no fire, especially even if it's cold. No fire. Let's just don't cook at all.
What are you talking about? Come on. It's a camping trip. Bonfires are essential. I promise to be cautious.
근데 자기야. What's the smell?
Sorry about that. It's just a little natural gas.
Natural gas? Andrew, we're camping right now.
Well, nature calls in more ways than one. We're skipping a meal since you couldn't start a fire today, and now I've got gas in my stomach.
Oh! 우리 여기까지만 하자. This is it for us. This is where I draw the line. Okay?
We're done. When we start making fart noises on the air,
Andrew.
which direction is this going?
I think you should go see the doctor.
That's just my coffee.
All right, but this is something that's on a lot of people's minds these days.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
we were just joking around there with, our little skip, but it is actually a very, very serious situation that's happening, not just here in Korea, but around the world.
Yeah, a lot of people also going camping these days, right before it gets super cold, right before winter comes. Perfect time right now. There's 5 million campers nationwide, going camping these days. But with the weather getting colder, there's a good number of accidents happening at campsites. So tell us a little bit about what's going on specifically.
Yeah, and there's a couple events that have been in the news as well. In Yeongdong and Jeongbuk, grandparents and their 5-year-old grandson were found dead in their tent. And in Yeoju, a couple in their late 50s also lost their lives. Both cases suggest carbon monoxide poisoning as they tried to stay warm in their tents. With more people camping, safety incidents are on the rise.
Yeah, so folks, I'm sure you know, when it gets colder and colder, a lot of campers, they use these stoves or these portable heaters inside their tents. And it's known that there is a significant risk of carbon monoxide, CO poisoning, when you don't ventilate properly. So if you don't ventilate properly, how dangerous can this be?
In a recent test, putting a charcoal stove in a closed one-person tent triggered a carbon monoxide alarm in just 10 seconds. Within 2 minutes, the levels got so high that a person could pass out. Now, carbon monoxide, the silent killer, is a colorless and odorless, causing symptoms like vomiting and difficulty breathing. Concentrations at 2,000 parts per million can lead to death in 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah. I know this was a huge problem back here in Korea, not only when it comes to camping, but like in houses in general, because a lot of houses, their heating supplied by these coal briquettes, right? Now, what can be done then to avoid, let's say, suffocation incidents and accidents while camping during winter? 겨울철 캠핑 질식사고를 예방하려면 어떻게 해야 합니까?
To prevent suffocation accidents during winter camping, avoid using gas, petroleum, charcoal, or wood stoves inside tents. Use a thick sleeping bag and warm items like water-filled pockets. Electric blankets are safer. Consider using a CO alarm inside the tent. Stay vigilant for a safe camping experience. Just pretty much, I don't want to say, use common sense in this situation, but anything that's going to even put any kind of gas inside your tent, keep it outside.
For sure, right? Or you could go the old natural way and just not
Natural
have it.
gas.
No, not natural gas, but
Yeah, that warm you up too.
yeah, that too. And don't do it inside the sleeping bag, please, especially if you're sharing it. But I was gonna say, just if you don't use a tent, you don't have to
I
worry.
know some people who do the old way is that they have a bag and they take like a brick, put it on the fire. That brick goes inside. It's a safe bag, and then they put that at the bottom of their sleeping bag, and it warms up their whole sleeping bag. It's kind of like how they used to do
super toasty
back in the day with beds as well, a long time ago. So I mean, that's kind of a very retro way of doing things. But there's all kinds of different ways to stay warm where you don't need to put something inside your tent.
True. We're all very retro these days. Who knows? That might kick back in sometime.
There you go.
Right? 네, 겨울철 캠핑장에서는 난방 목적으로 가스난로나 등유난로, 숯 등을 텐트 안으로 가지고 들어가지 마세요. 일산화탄소가 더 많이 나와 위험합니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 저 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래 라디오.
네가 저번 주 13인 것 같네.
22번 홀리면
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
The Monday Riddler finale.
All right, continue to have the Monday Riddler, Mr. Andrew Murphy here in the studio with us. And yes, today is the finale,
finale
of the
for Monday
segment.
Riddler, yes.
So I don't know if other shows have filled our listeners in on this.
Sorry
but-
if I jumped the gun there.
Yeah, spoiler warning for you. But yeah, this would be, I think, the last week of this current season.
Sure.
Here at Inside Out Busan. Next week will be the start of the new season.
Lots of new stuff, lots of surprises.
Yeah.
But always, it's good for some change as well. And
맞아요.
we'll see how things go.
Yeah, and unfortunately, today will actually wrap up Monday Riddler. But
Yes.
the Riddler will be back in a different capacity.
Yes, a different
next
suit.
week. A different suit.
Yeah, same bad channel, same bad time.
What villain will he appear? Tune in next week.
Yeah, information man.
Yeah.
All right.
Information man. Such a boring villain if it's an actual villain.
Story of my life, people. Story
but yes,
of my life.
as the last episode of Monday Riddler, I'm sure you got some tough
Got
ones.
some good ones, but also if we have time at the end, we have. I brought a little extra because I just wanted to test something out.
Okay.
To see how something goes, but we'll see how it
Sure.
is. All right, so. Last time we had some riddles about Thanksgiving because that is coming up.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with two from Thanksgiving, all right? So where do turkeys go if they want to dance?
Where do turkeys go if they want to dance?
Yes.
정답.
Oh, where?
They go to the turkey club sandwich.
People, come on. Send some coffee, Mr. Shui, because
No?
he does not have enough caffeine
No,
for this.
not the turkey club.
No, actually, this you have to say a brand, but I'm sure this brand isn't in Korea, so we're good to go. They go to the Butterball.
Oh my gosh, that's. I like my turkey club better.
Yeah. So for our listeners, like that is a brand of turkeys or a meat company, I guess, in the United States and in Canada. So everyone usually gets one of these kind of turkeys.
Yeah.
The Butterball, and a ball is like a dance.
Who calls a dance a ball these days
Hey,
anyway?
well, turkeys do.
right?
Turkeys do.
Jeez.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Next one. What genre of music did the Pilgrims like best?
Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to go very PC with this. What genre of music do Pilgrims like the best?
Yeah.
What genre of music? Is this an actual genre of music?
Part of the name is.
Oh.
Part of the name is a real genre. The other has to do with the whole first Thanksgiving, blah, 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 Pilgrims coming to America.
Oh. That doesn't help me at all.
Yeah.
What genre of music? I would think something about sharing and caring.
You're way off base. Think about
Yeah.
when the Pilgrims came to America or went to America.
Yeah.
Where did they land?
On. Ooh.
Come on.
Okay, I got the actual part.
Okay,
then.
what is it?
Rock.
Okay, yeah, it is a rock.
But what kind of rock?
The name of the rock.
Oh, it's Plymouth Rock?
There you go.
Oh my
That's their favorite genre of
gosh.
music, Plymouth Rock.
So a little bit of history lesson for
Yeah.
our listeners, right? The Pilgrims did land on Plymouth Rock.
Yes. There
Okay,
you go.
so that's the type of music that Pilgrims like. I imagine that they like a little bit of a what they play,
I don't know.
the music that they played on the Titanic.
Like a pin whistle or
Kind of.
something, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know why I pictured that, but I'm
Yeah.
sure that was way before Titanic anyway.
I would say.
Uh-huh.
All right. Until I am measured, I am not known.
Oh my god.
Yet you miss me when I have flown.
What?
What am I?
Until I am measured, I am not known.
Yes.
Yet you miss me when I have flown.
For our listeners, if you heard that, that was my chair, not natural gas. Just letting you know. All right. Can make
Now,
it again.
every sound coming from out of your mic that's not your voice, we're going to suspect natural gas.
Fair enough.
Oh, 정답.
All right. What is it?
An airplane. A
No.
flight.
No.
Oh.
No. Think of something that flies by.
Time?
Nailed it. Until I am measured, I am not known. So we don't
that's
know.
the first thing I thought. I was like, that can't be it.
Yet you miss me when I have flown. So time flies by, has flown by. Yeah. What am I? Time.
I was like,
Ding
no,
dong
this
dang.
has to be a little bit more complex than time.
Yeah, all
I swear
right.
that's the first thing I thought. It has to be like, because, until I'm measured, I'm not known. Because you got to be, okay, an airplane has to be in the air flying. Then you know how fast it's flying.
Turn the black box on, everybody.
Yet you miss me when I've flown. Yeah, because when it's taken off, then it was like, I missed my flight.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough. I'll give you that, Mint.
Time.
Yeah.
But that makes more sense than mine, actually.
Fair enough. All right. Last one on your list here. It stalks the countryside with ears that can't hear. What is it?
정답.
All right.
Corn.
I knew you. I had to give you one.
이거는 좀 쉽죠. I
had to give you one.
Stalk of
All right.
corn. I had
Now-
corn this morning, too.
Now, this one here is a one that our listeners might have to write down, but if you listen carefully, hopefully you can get it. We're going to go to the one that's probably smack in the middle of your page there, Mitsu. It's, what does this mean? We have the capital letter I, the word right, and then one more capital letter I.
I, right,
I.
I. What does this mean?
Yes.
Am I supposed to look at it as like a sign? Like signage?
Not a sign. It's kind of like reading between the lines or putting a couple of things together. It's almost like not an anagram, but like it's a puzzle, essentially.
정답.
Okay.
정답.
Right.
정답. 정답.
Okay, come on.
정답. This is. Come on, Andrew. This is.
All right. Okay. Okay. Come on.
Come on.
What is it?
It's right between the lines.
No.
What?
Right between the eyes.
Oh, right between the.
Listeners, I have to tell you guys, I have to, admit to something. And this is even back when Laura was still here and we were going through this and the segment was in its infancy. There's nothing better when somebody in the other chair thinks they have it. And then they say it and it's wrong. And to watch them come crashing down is absolutely, it's amazing.
the right between the eyes makes so much more
Yes.
sense too than right between the lines.
Now,
It's read between the lines. What am I?
there you go. Now, what I was going to have some fun with tonight is because I'm curious. This is something I would like to use for a segment in the future.
Yeah.
And since we're in the last day of this, I thought we'd have a little test run with
Sure.
a minute.
I like being
and
the
it's
guinea
a
pig.
would you rather. And you were talking about this earlier.
I love would you rather questions.
For high school or be now or when you were a kid kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
All right. Now, would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
Ooh. So I have a choice between seeing 10 minutes.
Into
Like-
the future?
So I would see, if I were to choose to see 10 minutes right now, I would see what's happening at 7:02
Sure.
right now. Or seeing 150 years later into
Yes.
the future. I would have the before,
The 10 minutes?
the 10 minutes.
I want the
Because
150.
really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I could see some technology and make bank on it.
I don't think you can make enough bank for something that's 150 years out. Though.
Me and Mr. Musk and Zuckerberg and a few other people, we make something happen.
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. 150 years. Like, look at the technology. Look at the companies. Because you're probably looking at companies and technology.
Yeah,
that,
fair enough.
That people.
Or what if you do that and there's nobody here?
That's true.
Yeah.
See, what if you
They're
do
on
that?
the moon.
What if you do that and you're not in the future?
Ooh, okay, anyway. Well, we definitely won't be 150 years.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right, moving on one more because I think this is good. All right. Hey, technology, who knows? Would you rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song you hear?
Oh my god.
So if a song comes on, you would have to sing it or you would have to dance to it. Which would you rather have?
This is something that I would want to wish upon my worst enemy.
Ooh, I
Right.
like it. Yeah, okay.
But so sing along or dance to any song
Yes.
that I hear. Does it have to be in like my singing voice?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And
It's
my
you.
dancing skills?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, I have put more confidence in my singing voice than my dancing skills.
I'm the opposite. I'm gonna go because everyone makes a fool of themselves dancing.
Yeah.
And people can laugh it off. But
Sure.
if you're just like
singing?
destroying people's
I was
ears,
like, that guy's so annoying, right? Oh, that's true. Oh,
Yeah.
that one's a hard one.
yeah, it is. It's all right.
Right? Is it? Do you want to be Mr. Funny Guy, Mr. Clown, or do you want to be like that guy?
Yeah, but what if you're like an amazing singer? That's the other. I don't know.
See, that's the thing.
Last one.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a personal maid? So obviously you pay this person. It's not like not like that people.
Yeah.
So somebody who cleans your house all the time, cleans up, does everything at home, or a personal chef.
Ooh, this one's easy. Chef for me.
Yeah, me too.
All day.
100%.
Yeah. Like the other house stuff, I think I could take care of. Like, it doesn't matter if I push back
You can
and
get it done.
procrastinate.
Yeah.
I could get it done myself. But
It's just having
like
meals.
good food, healthy food
Yes.
on a consistent basis. Somebody provides that for you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Wife, you do a fantastic job.
yeah,
all
same
right?
here.
My wife does, we're both very busy, so she does cook the odd time for me.
Same here.
Cooks for the kids every day. But
Same here.
it's also, it would take that burden off our wives as well if they
yeah.
are the ones who cook.
That's
or
true.
when I'm at home, it would take that burden off of me as well.
역시 Andrew.
There we go.
Andrew speaks on our behalf. Okay, to all the wives out there, to my wife out there.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
Would you rather questions to end off Mr. Monday Riddler's run for this season? Andrew, thank you so much for providing a lot of laughs, a lot of thinkers.
Yeah, and
on Monday
for
evenings.
anybody out there, if you want to test Minsu's ability of anything, make sure he does not have any caffeine, and you're probably going to get one over on
You
him.
do have the advantage. Andrew, we will see you back next week in a different capacity,
Yes.
though. Real quick, I want to read a message from 우리 연주님 on our Kakao Talk. Oh, commenting on our little 꽁트 that we did. To prevent camping accidents in winter, it's important to leave gas outdoors.
100%.
I'm getting good information. Well, make sure you leave natural gas outside too, Andrew. All right? Please.
The wife kicks me out often.
All right, Andrew, we'll see you back here next week, okay?
Bye-bye.
And to take us out of the first hour, this is 악동 뮤지션 with 후라이의 꿈.
난 차라리 아무도 꿈이 없는 자에게 기회를 주지 않아. 하긴 무슨 기회가 어울릴지도 모를 거야. 혹시 말아줘요. 하고 싶은 게 없는 걸 왜 그렇게 반한 죄 지은 게
시청역이 도보 2분의 차,
대형마트도 근처에 차.
초등학교도 안심통학권에 차,
착착착 집중 밀차.
신주거 타운의 중심에서 누리는 초집중 라이프.
시청역 해모로 센티아.
아파트 11월 오픈 예정 051-861-7952 HJ중공업.
괜찮아 괜찮아 조금 불편해도 환경을 위해 너무 괜찮아. 일회용 컵 대신 머그컵 비닐봉지 대신 에코백 물티슈 대신 손수건. 우리의 실천 하나하나 모여 세상을 바꿔요. 깨끗한 세상 플라스틱 제로 일회용품 제로 함께해서 참 좋은 우리의 시민 불편하더라도
이 캠페인은 부산환경공단이 함께합니다.
안녕하세요. 영화배우 김민재입니다. 마약 시작하면 끝입니다.
너도 시작해볼래? 정말 끝내준대.
청춘 끝.
집중이 잘 안 돼? 이거 하나면 끝나.
미래 끝.
다이어트해도 정말 끝내준대.
건강 끝.
걱정할 필요 없어. 뒤끝 전혀 없어.
젊음 끝.
끝난다 끝나. 이제 우리 끝까지 가볼까?
인생 끝. 마약 당신은 이미 그 끝을 알고 있습니다. 마약 시작이 인생 끝입니다. 공익광고협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. Inside Out Busan.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second hour of Inside Out Busan, and I'm your host, Min Soo Shin. Welcome to the show. I do hope you're having a pleasant little evening. Yeah, usually after like the first hour on Mondays, I have to kind of like sit back a little bit, and then my head kind of just calm down because my brain's like working like overtime because of all the hard questions that Andrew always brings for Monday Riddler. But yeah, today marked the last actually segment of it. Monday Riddler will retire his hat, his tie, whatever the Riddler's signature, item clothing is. But that doesn't mean Andrew won't be back. Andrew will be back for the new season starting next week here at BEFM, but he'll be back in a different capacity. Okay? But couple messages coming in. 5405 Neem. Oh, you are answering the would you rather questions. You were saying, difficult question, but I choose to sing. Because Andrew threw the question, would you rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song that you hear? Yeah, sing makes it easier because I have two left feet, right? I can no way follow dance at all. But 5405, no, humming. Humming, that's cheating. Like, yeah, you're basically full on singing every word, every lyrics to the song, and every note too, okay? So, yeah, no humming, right? Don't be that guy. All right, thank you so much for your participation. We're going to kick things off second hour with On the Mic. This is a segment where we get to share the stories about the lives of you, the citizens of Busan. Let's see who we have for today.
All right, today we're going to talk to someone and find out about their life in Busan. Let's get to know them. Hi, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Ronan Cuthbert. I'm from Ireland. I've been living in Busan for maybe more than nearly 5 years now.
Okay, and what brought you to Busan?
So long time coming to Korea. My wife is Korean, so she wants to move back to see her family. So we've lived around a few different places, from New Zealand to London to New Zealand. So we finally moved back to Busan back around 2018. So that was the move was that my wife wanted to see her family. She hadn't seen them for about 20 years, so she wanted to move back home and be close to them.
So how did you meet your wife? You didn't meet her in Korea.
No. So we met in New Zealand when she was working there. So we met by chance there, which was nice. And then we lived for a few years in New Zealand and then moved back to London for 5 years because she wanted to see London, a bit of Europe. And then we moved back to Korea around 2016.
How would you compare living in Busan to living in New Zealand or living in London? How would you compare living in all these different places?
I mean, all the places, like London's quite packed, lots of people, which is quite common to what you see in Korea and Busan. Differences you would see, I guess, between Busan and London, there's some similarities, as in quite dense population, lots of convenience, lots of coffee shops, lots of things to do. New Zealand is a little more spread out, but you still have the same sort of things you can get in both cities. Things that you take for granted in New Zealand and London, maybe air quality. And when you come to Korea, sometimes the air can be bad. But Korea as a place to live is really nice. It's a really good place. I'm quite an active outdoor sort of person, so I do running a lot, do a lot of cycling, so always out enjoying and seeing Korea all the time.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you about next. I know you're the leader of a running club and you also host weekend workouts. Tell us a little bit about your passion for fitness and explain that.
Okay, so I'm always active, always doing outdoor activities, either running or cycling. I help out and run the Gorilla Run Club on a Monday. So every Monday at 7 o'clock we meet up in Gorilla Brewery in Gwanang and organise a run club for beginners doing 5 or 10k loops. So people can get to start exercising or get to socialise with no pressure and enjoy just meeting up and having fun.
Do they have to pay or is it, how do you?
It's totally free. Anybody can turn up, any age group. There's a mixture of foreigners and Koreans, so there's no pressure. You don't have to sign up, you don't have to commit to it, you just turn up and run if you want to run. So it's very open like that.
And not just running, you said you do other exercises. Tell us a little bit about your cycling.
So I train to be a triathlete. So I do a lot of cycling and running. Not as much swimming as I should do, but that'll come over time. But I tend to cycle every day if I can, because I work from home, so I have that freedom to cycle every day if I can. Yeah.
So tell us, where do you cycle? And if someone wanted to get into cycling, like what would you recommend for them?
So I don't actually live in the Busan area. I actually live in Yangsan. So where I live is very close to really good cycling infrastructure and good routes you can cycle. If you were starting to do in the cycling journey, I would start just getting a cheap bike, getting comfortable cycling maybe on the cycling paths rather than going on the roads, just so you get comfortable on the bike. And if you really want to get into cycling and get a proper bike, I would start with a bike fit if you can from a local bike shop, so you get a bike that fits you. And if you want to really, like out west or out east on the weekends is probably the best time, because you can bring your bike on the subways and you can get out of the city and enjoy the Korean countryside.
Awesome. And today, actually, you led a workout today, a beach workout with some interesting exercises called zoo. Explain, what is this zoo workout that you led today?
So zoo is kind of, it was a exercise routine formed by a Australian guy called Nathan Philberg. And it's all the exercises imitate animal movements. So there's exercises imitate like bear crawling or different sort of movements. Some of the movements are very similar to yoga movements, but a little more intensive. So you can do it as easy or as hard as you want, and you can still get a full body workout with a very small amount of space.
Perfect. Well, I guess we can all find you, Ronan, every Monday at Gorilla Running Club. And thank you so much for your interview.
All right. Thanks for your time.
A big thank you to our porter Tegan for today's On the Mic. So having a lovely conversation outdoors, as you can tell from a little bit of the wind that Tegan's mic was picking up. But she had a conversation with today's special guest for On the Mic, Mr. Ronan Cuthbert. So Ronan, being originally from Ireland, he met his wife back in over in New Zealand. And basically they have, they lived in New Zealand, they lived in London for a little bit before moving back here, or moving to Korea. I guess moving back for his wife, he mentioned that because she is Korean, having family in here. But Ronan being very active, living a very active life here in Busan, especially with the running club that he mentioned. Obviously, Tegan, probably Ronan and Tegan come from the same cloth, being very active, exercise-wise, right? But Ronan, I think you are, managing or running yourself, this running club, something that a lot of people are looking for these days. We've gotten into just parts of society. So I guess we could call it a trend of sorts, where a lot of people like things like hobbies, right? Things that they usually might do on their own. Whether it be art, whether it be music, things like running, right? Now people are finding looking for groups to do this with. And a lot of people, go on online chat rooms and forums just to see if there's anybody around their same neighborhood or maybe even within their same city that they want to go jogging with, go on a run with. And Ronan, you're doing that right here, smack dab in the middle of Busan, specifically the Suyong area. And I think that's great. I think just providing a sense of community for people that just, enjoy running. I think it's great to continue to build that running community, not here in our city, to continue to promote exercise, continue to promote health to just citizens. I think that's a great thing that you're doing, Ronan. Keep it up. Who knows? Person like me, as I'm also very sensitive to trends. If more and more people do it, maybe I'll eventually cave in. I know I should do it, for my health and to be active and everything, but 힘들잖아요. 그렇죠? Ronan, thank you so much for your conversation. A big thank you to our reporter Tegan. That will do it for today's On the Mic. Let's take a quick song break. This is Sam Smith with Love Me More. We'll be back.
Have you ever felt like being somebody else? Feeling like the mirror isn't good for your health. Every day I'm trying not to hate myself, but lately it's not hurting like it did before. Maybe I am learning how to love me more. It used to burn, every insult, every word, but it helped me learn self-worth I had to earn. So I tried every night to sip with sorrow, and eventually it set me free. Have you ever felt like being somebody else? Feeling like the mirror isn't good for your health. Every day I'm trying not to hate myself, but lately it's not hurting like it did before. Maybe I am learning how to love me more. Just a little bit, love me more. Just a little bit, love me more. Oh no, love me more. Just a little bit, love me more. I used to cry myself to sleep at night. I'd blame the sky when the mess was in my mind. I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe, so I sat with sorrow, and eventually it set me free. Have you ever felt like being somebody else? Feeling like that mirror isn't good for your health. Every day I'm trying not to hate myself, but lately it's not hurting like it did before. for. Maybe I am learning how to love me more, just a little bit. Love me more, just a little bit. Love me more. I'm gonna try to love me more with a little bit of love. Love me more. Yeah. Love me more. Love me more. Just a little bit. Love me more. Love me more. Love me more. Gonna love me more. Yeah.
Now Sam Smith with Love Me More. The time is now 7:13 here in the studio. Welcome. Hour number 2 of Inside Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. 반갑습니다. 환영합니다. Welcome to you all. Good evening. I do hope you're having a lovely Monday night. Yeah. Where does the time go? I haven't said that in a while. But seriously, where does it go? Okay? Because I swear, like, it's almost like deja vu. Okay? Because Bonnie just came in to the studio, and I swear, I was like, it's already been a week since I last saw her. And we're like having like the conversation. We're like, all right, this is the conversation that we usually, I'm not saying that, you know, our quality of talks is very repetitive, but like, I swear this is something that we do a week apart, you know, like on, you know, when we look at our watches and when we look at our calendars, we do it a week apart, but it feels like we just did it yesterday, right? So that just goes to show you just how fast time is going. And to let our listeners know, yeah, today's the 20th of November. There's 10 days left of this month until the very last month of 2023, okay? And that even that's going to go by faster, right? Because it's the last month with Christmas coming up and all. Yeah, so just start saying goodbye to 2023 now, okay? And 지금부터 2023년 그냥 인사하기 시작하세요. I feel like even starting now, you'll like just finish in time right when 2023 ends, okay? Hopefully that doesn't sound too sad, right? Not to get our listeners down or anything. You know, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad 2023 is coming to a close. We have lots to look forward to in 2024. But yeah, just time goes by a little too quick for me sometimes. But let's see what the weather and traffic is looking like right now. Busan City averaging 11 degrees Celsius. So tomorrow, milder conditions along with wider temperature gaps expected. So tomorrow, morning low of 7, afternoon high of 18. Okay? So what is that? 11 degrees plus of just temperature difference between the coldest and the warmest time. So folks, stay warm. So rather than staying warm, I mean, staying warm is important, but try to keep at a steady temperature wherever it is that you're at. So if you're going to be outside most of the time, make sure you bundle up when you need to and make sure you take off when you need to. Because I feel like, I'm sure you've noticed a lot of people are catching colds or getting sick around you. And I bet you it has something to do with just the temperatures just be going up and down, just throwing our whole biorhythm off sometimes. And that opens us up to catching a lot of stuff. So yeah, careful not to catch a cold. Do bundle up when you need to, and vice versa. I think that's how it works. 부산은 이번 주 일교차는 크지만 대체로 온화한 날씨를 보이겠습니다. 그래서 여러분 단디 챙기세요. 네. When it comes to the traffic, we have congestion on 황령대로 from Munjeon Junction going towards Hwangyang Tunnel. There's also congestion on 충렬대로 from Dongle Junction going towards Naesung Junction. Slow-moving traffic on Nakdong-Namlo from Seongsan Three-Way intersection going towards the Gangseo Police Station. Everybody, drive safe. 부탁드릴게요. 안전 운전 부탁드리겠습니다. All right, so today, November 20th, marks around the world World Children's Day. No, not the Children's Day that you're thinking of here in Korea that falls on May 5th, I believe it is. Ooh, why am I doubting myself that it's May 5th for some reason, right? 월 5일. I hate doing this to myself. No, I am pretty sure that the Children's Day that we're thinking of here in Korea happens to be in early May. But no, the Children's Day I'm talking about is World Children's Day, and this is a day that falls on November 20th of every year. And this is a day that's promoted by UNICEF since 1959. So a long, long time ago that they decided to have this day. And it's a special day set aside by the World Organization to really highlight the lives of children, just how important they are also in our societies. Just so that goes to show you just how important their opinions are, that their thoughts are, and that's why their rights and their welfare and their health need to be protected as much as just anybody else, right? So yeah, I do hope that on a day like today, being World Children's Day, the city is recognizing it for sure. So I mentioned that a bunch of places here in Busan, a bunch of big landmarks that we know of, like Cinema Center here in Sentum, Gwangan-daegu Bridge, Hwangyang Mountain Transmission Tower, all those are going to be lit up in blue in celebration of World Children's Day. Once again, not to be mistaken for Children's Day here in Korea, which is celebrated on May 5th. Yes, why did I doubt myself? May 5th every year. So today, listeners, in light of World Children's Day, I want you to think back when you were a kid and how great we had it back then. Or maybe you think now, I have it great now. So bit of a tough, it could be an easy question or a tough question to you. Which would you rather live as? Would you rather live as a kid or would you rather live as an adult? There's good things and bad things, pluses and minuses, advantages and disadvantages of both sides. So I really wanted to hear your thoughts on the matter. Would you want to live as a kid or would you want to live as an adult? Let's not get too situational. Like, don't be like, Andrew, be like, oh, like, am I going to be a kid but still have all the knowledge that I have now? No, you're going to be a kid, like, you're going to be a kid like when you were a kid. Or would you rather be an adult now? Okay. I'm going to get to a couple of your messages that have come in. A lot of people chiming in on this. Very interesting question. But let's also ask our guest, who is waiting also patiently for her turn at the mic. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, no, that's a really tough one.
So which would you rather?
Oh, this is so... I feel like it's one of those grass is always greener things. Like when I was a kid, I always wanted to be an adult.
Yeah.
And now I look at kids, I'm like, you are so lucky. You don't have to think about making dinner or doing work. All you have to think about is homework.
Yeah. And even homework back then, we think about homework. Man, I can't wait till I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I'm just doing homework.
This is so hard.
Seeing how your adult life is now, like, would you want to go back to when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, I thought life was so boring. I was an only child, so I had to use my imagination a lot.
And you're from Monterey.
Yeah. No, really, it's like a very sleepy town. It's not a lot of action going on. So I was like,
say this because
I
I had a college roommate who was from Monterey. And he has a very, very creative imagination. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, it might have helped us. We're creative folk. Look at where we are now.
But it's hard. It's hard to choose, right?
Yeah, I probably would say if I didn't have the knowledge that I do now, because if I did, I would definitely choose a kid. Because now being an adult, like, all the things you have to worry about, I'd be so grateful to be able to just play on a playground and do homework. I would love homework. I'd be so pumped up to do homework.
Yeah.
That's my only responsibility. But if I didn't know that, I guess an adult, because I have the freedom to be able to do what I want. I can have like ice cream for dinner if I wanted.
Yeah.
I could have like 5 ice creams for dinner if I wanted.
Like we talked about, right?
So in that, the freedom of being able to travel, do the things that I want to do, having money, my own money.
Yeah.
I think adult.
Yeah. And that's the thing that sets it apart for a lot of people. Just as a kid, you have nothing to worry about because everything's provided. But you have no choice.
Yeah.
Choice was the big thing for a lot of people. And because, Andrew mentioned the first hour, but with those choices come risks and responsibilities at the end of that, right?
Yeah.
Like the choices we make either end up costing our energy, our time, or our money, okay? But I'm happy with making those sacrifices. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when the reward is ice cream for dinner.
Exactly. So
I'll risk it.
I'm on the same boat as you. Yeah, I think that plus, because you think, when you're a kid, not a worry in the world, but the amount of fun that you had as a kid, right? So those are the two big things that I weigh of if I want to choose to go back to my childhood, because no worries. And I just had, used to say, oh, that was fun. I had fun at something.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas today, it was it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Right? But then I had to, always think about other stuff while I'm doing that.
Yeah. If it was in which time period, too, if it was in this time period right now, being a kid,
Yeah.
I would 100% choose an adult. I think life as a kid now is even more difficult.
맞아요. So, yeah, but to add to that, but for me, I think I'm getting best of both worlds. So the freedom that comes with an adult and the fun as, let's say, that when you live as a kid.
Yeah.
But because having a kid lets you kind of teeter on that side too.
Yeah.
Because I have to put myself into the mind state of a 7-year-old girl. Right? To be on the same level as my daughter. It's not the easiest thing to do, okay? But sometimes the amount of fun that I find myself having sometimes when I'm doing stuff that's meant for her and her age and her level. So I think as a dad or just as a parent, I get to dabble a little bit on that side too. So I think that's why it also makes me easier to choose an adult.
Yeah, because at least you have the choice now, though.
Yeah.
It's you can choose to do that.
Exactly.
When you want to stop, you can stop.
Yeah, exactly, right? We have a couple messages coming in from a lot of people chiming in on today's text topic. So we have Hisu님 on our Kakao Talk saying, good evening. I'm home after work and I heard it snowed in Busan. Yes. So when was it that it snowed? Saturday
night.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
People said
Friday night?
No, early Saturday morning.
Yes.
Yeah. So people were saying it was snowing around 4 a.m. or something. It was coming down supposedly too here in Busan. That's why I was dropping my wife off at work in the morning on Saturday, and there were some cars with just pretty not thick, but a layer, very visible layer of snow on top.
Do you get excited?
When I saw the snow,
Yeah.
I was why can't I have that on my car? Yeah.
I get so excited when I see snow.
맞아요.
And everyone's always where are you from? When I say California.
California. And then here in Korea, where are you from? I'm from Busan. I was oh, that explains it. Right? Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Just a little bit of white. It makes me so happy.
맞아요.
winter.
Yeah. Hisu님 continues to say, I don't want to get 1 year older. Oh, so Hisu님, you're choosing to become a kid because you don't want to just get older in general, right, as an adult.
You don't have to accept it as an adult.
True.
You can just stay. Nobody will know.
Yeah, that's just something.
Just stay your age.
That's just something on paper.
Yeah.
Right, Hisu님? Just something on your ID card, right? Living as a kid will be pleasant, no worries and no responsibilities. Yeah, as we were saying. But then, your standard of worries and responsibilities do differ, right? When we were a kid, what was your worry and what was your responsibility as a kid?
I feel homework and having to stop watching TV when I wanted to keep watching a show and dinner was ready.
Exactly.
I really hated that.
Oh.
I couldn't choose. Now I can choose.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep watching a show, but when I was little, my mom did not give me that choice.
So as a kid, there's different stresses and different worries and responsibilities, but doesn't compare to the worries and responsibilities that adults have right now, right? We also have on our YouTube chat, we have 배영권님 saying good evening. Good evening to you, HK님. 토끼님 saying 나도 격하게 맞히고 싶다 퀴즈. 토끼님 오늘 좀 어려웠죠? 저도 어려웠습니다. 토끼님 saying, I think I was the happiest when I was 6 or 7 years old. Before entering elementary school, I want to go back to the time when I didn't have any worries and everyone loved me. Aw, yeah. The good old 6 and 7, 6 to 7. That's like that, you know, that right at that age where you know pretty much most things.
Yeah.
You know pretty much most things. You understand. You know what's good about it. You know what's bad about it. But as like a kid, because my daughter's at that age right now, right? So she knows so much.
Yeah.
But as a parent, we always try to have to provide our kids with the good and the best, to expose them only to the good and the best. So yeah, right around that time, 6 to 7 is like when you know how things work, but you only get to enjoy the best because your parents do try to provide you with just that, right? So no worries around that time. And yeah, everybody does love you. So you think.
Yeah, as far as you know.
As far as you know, right? But that's, ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? 토끼님, you picked a good age. You picked a good age, 6 to 7. 우리 가보자고님 saying, I would rather live as an adult because I want to be responsible for my life. When you are a kid, you follow your parents. Okay, 가보자고님, same boat as us. The choices that we have as adults.
That freedom.
맞아요. To eat ice cream. We keep bringing up ice cream here whenever you come in or just during your
That's
segments.
the best part of being an adult. Have we narrowed it down to that,
Just
basically?
no limit on ice cream, right? That's the only thing to look forward to, kids, when you become an adult. We have 류상효 원장님 also saying, I would live as an adult too. Yeah, so lots of notches on the adult side, it seems like. But let's celebrate the children. All right, listeners, today being World Children's Day and all. We also want to let our listener 서연주님 know that you are today's gift receiver. 연주님, thank you so much for your participation, not only in our 5분 상식 corner that you commented, but you also say, I want to live as an adult because children have a lot of restrictions. That's right. So the choices, once again, for you that we have as adults, you would rather have that, not give that up, right? 연주님, 저도 그렇습니다. You also commented the quiz is too hard. 맞아요. 퀴즈 좀 어려웠어요, 오늘. 근데 걱정 마세요. 퀴즈 마지막이었습니다. I'm not saying that was the last of Andrew. Andrew will be back next week for the new season, but that's the last of the Riddler. Or so you think. 네, 연주님 축하드립니다. 네, 오늘 선물 드릴게요. 작가님, can you get in touch with 연주님, please? Okie dokes. All right, 7:30 here in the studio. Ooh, we are a little bit over on time. Let's get to Bonnie's me time. Me time with Bonnie here in the studio. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Good to hear.
I like Mondays.
Really?
Yeah, I can't complain.
Oh, I don't know why I was surprised. It's like, really?
It's like a brand new start.
How dare you? No.
You never know what's going to happen in the week.
True. True.
It's exciting.
See, I should have that mindset. I loathe like Sunday night.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even usually like Monday's not my like busiest day too. I'm like, ugh.
Start.
It's Monday tomorrow. But yay, it's Monday now. Time for me time. So it's second second hour of our show. We always have this segment, me time, with Bonnie here in the studio. What do you have for us today, Bonnie?
Well, today's me time might help you feel a little bit better as the week comes to an end on Sunday night. And any one of you guys that chose to be a child instead of an adult, maybe this will help you change your attitude about that.
Oh, okay.
So today's topic is kind of cliche. I know we say this a lot for any like mental health or wellness topic, practicing gratitude. But I really wanted to touch on this because this week in the States, if you are there, people are celebrating Thanksgiving. A lot of people are getting together, practicing gratitude, thanks.
Oh,
So
yeah.
lots of times, I mean, we think of Thanksgiving as tons of food and just kind of vegging out and passing out. But also, a lot of times people.
What else is Thanksgiving supposed to mean? See, I'm sorry, I forgot all my
we're gonna
history.
pick apart that word, Thanksgiving, and we're gonna give some thanks. So this is not something that you should do just once a year, all of you guys out there. So this practicing gratitude thing, if you practice it more, you'll actually see improvements in your brain and the way that you are emotionally, and this can actually help and benefit you in many aspects of your life.
Yeah.
So we're gonna touch on kind of like the scientific part of it, and then I'm going to go over the different domains that I like to put them in, and then how you can practice it.
Okay.
So scientifically, actually, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the same area of your brain that controls your emotions and your behavior also controls the higher order thinking skills like your focus and attention. So this is in the limbic system, which is really deep within the brain. So if your brain is more positive, optimistic, then it's actually healthier. This can actually help a person's ability to receive information, analyze information, all your creative thinking, increasing your mental productivity. So this can help you with, if you're in school, it can help you at work, it can help you with your relationships. So it's really like, if you think of the muscle as a brain, so think of muscle memory, like when you ride a bike, your muscles kind of remember, even if you haven't ridden a bike in a year or two, when you get back on a bike, your muscles remember how to do it. Same thing as your muscle, or it's your brain. Still a muscle. So the more that you practice positive thinking, the more you practice being optimistic and practice gratitude for things, your brain kind of gets used to that way of thinking. So you're kind of training your brain to look at the bright side of things and be happier. And this in turn will actually help your thinking skills and your relationship skills and open up possibilities for all different sorts of things. So even at work, so the way that you react to things, the way that your productivity can actually increase the more that you practice gratitude. So scientists actually did a study on this in 2008, and it actually measured brain activity when people were thinking grateful thoughts or feeling a sense of gratitude. So they found, I'm going to quote this, that gratitude causes synchronized activation in multiple brain regions and lights up parts of the brain's reward pathways and the hypothalamus. So in short, the gratitude can boost neurotransmitter serotonin and activate the brain stem to produce dopamine. So what that means is it's kind of triggering something in your brain. That reward circuit is telling you, oh, I like this. We want more of this. We want more of this. So your brain can't tell the difference between a positive or negative reward system. So it's the same thing as when you pick up your phone, you get kind of like a dopamine or serotonin response. So that isn't necessarily a healthy thing to do, but your brain can't really tell the difference. So on the other end of it, the gratitude part is something healthy, is something good for you. So the more you do it, your brain is like, oh, we like this. Oh, the little dopamine, serotonin, it's telling you we want this more. We want more of this again and again. So it's going to be training your brain to kind of think in that terms of gratitude more and more.
Yeah. And because, you talking about scientists and the studies that they do on this. Now, I recently came across a video. I'm one of the most skeptical people that you will meet, okay? I will, any videos that look slightly unbelievable, I'll say that that's not true right away. And I'll watch it maybe 10, 15 more times, and it'll go, okay, all right, maybe, all right? But because I've seen so many of these kinds of videos on social media and NutTube and everything, that I wanted to bring this up because we're talking about gratitude, being thankful, right? And maybe even the act of saying thank you. This is something that not only affects people like humans, let's say. I've seen videos of even saying the words thank you and just, saying just kind words in general to how it affects plants.
Oh, wow.
And also, the most recent one that I've seen, right? People might be thinking, oh, Minsu's watching weird videos or something. No, but I'm sure maybe some of our listeners have come across this. So there was this scientist in Japan where he put 3 cups of just 3 of the same types of rice and would pour water into it. So let it ferment. And while it's fermenting, the rice, he would, to one cup, say, thank you, like every day. To the other cup, say, like, you're stupid or something, something really negative.
How mean.
And say nothing to the third cup, right? Past like 20 or 25 days or something, the cup that's been getting just thank yous was just white color. And of course, like, the rice, kind of like mixing into the water and everything and fermenting and everything, but there's no signs of like dark mold or anything. But on the cup where he would say like, you're stupid, you're an idiot, every day, that was black mold.
Wow.
Yeah. And the one with nothing, it was like this kind of like mix of like both white and black, but it's still super moldy.
Wow.
Right? And that's not the only kind of like other videos I've seen, like when like other scientists would say that to plants. So this, the plant that the scientist would say like good things to it every day, like good morning, oh, you look nice today, something like that. That would like grow all healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas to another plant, you would throw like, like negative thoughts and stuff, like just kind of let your stress out to the plant. You'd shout at it, wouldn't grow as much.
Yeah.
And to the third plant where you just say nothing, it would just kind of like just grow as a normal plant. But then, like so many of these different kinds of videos.
Yeah.
And even if it's not true, but I think they kind of emphasize just how much weight and value and how much effect just saying even like a thank you or something nice, right?
Oh, yeah.
Having gratitude towards something, having that mind of thankfulness towards something not only changes like you, but also another person, both outside and inside.
Oh, yeah. So you feel good, obviously. When someone says thank you, you feel good about it. But it's like what I'm trying to touch on also is like it's not just the feeling, but it actually is improving your brain activity.
Yeah.
So like if you think about when you have negative emotions, if you are really worked up and emotional, do you notice that you can't really think clearly? Like you don't make the best decisions when you're really, really negative, when you're really worked up, when you had a really bad day. Your decision-making skills aren't actually at their peak because it actually affects your prefrontal cortex, which is
other stuff is taken up by,
Yeah, it actually takes the energy from that front part of your brain to be able to make good decisions. So if you think about the opposite of that, when you are in a happy state, a grateful state of life, or whatever it may be, or someone says thank you to you, you feel a little bit better, but that prefrontal cortex is clear to think and make sound good decisions.
Yeah.
So it's not just the feeling of, like saying thank you makes you feel so good inside, makes you feel happy. It's the feeling, yes, but also scientifically, it's also helping your brain activity and your productivity in everything in just life, making good decisions. Which everybody wants to make good decisions, right? we want to decrease any bad decisions later on that we might regret, right? So I like to split this gratitude into 4 different areas to kind of make it easy throughout your day or throughout life. So my first domain is gratitude for self. So this is kind of easy, but kind of reminding yourself, your body, your mind, to be thankful for what it did for you. So even if you have like a sprained ankle or something, do you ever notice if you hurt a part of something or like even just a fingernail, something hurts, you're so grateful for that time when that part didn't hurt. Like something tiny, like a paper cut, just affects everything else. And you're like, I was so great. I should have been so much more grateful for when I didn't have that pain, right? So giving daily gratitude to just your body for what it does, right? Being alive, taking you from place to place, the thoughts that you have, getting through the day at work, getting through any kind of workout. So that's gratitude for self. Easy, always bring it back to you. And then gratitude for loved ones. So people in your family, friends, teachers, people that you interact with, your coworkers. So this is, you might think everyday mundane activities, but just somebody getting out of the way for you, pressing the elevator button for you, holding the elevator for you, that kind of thing, or family members like cooking for you, even your daughter, things playing with you, right? Being grateful for those little acts. So telling them verbally or having like some sort of practice in your family where you're telling them what you're grateful for the day, what they did for you and what you did for them. And then another domain is gratitude for strangers. So people that you come across in your life that maybe you're just passing by, or somebody that's checking you out at the grocery store, or the bus driver, right? Just giving them a little nod of gratitude for what they're doing for you or the community, especially if you live in an apartment. The people that are kind of sorting the trash, you know, like the guys that are keeping the door, maybe they're not the happiest at times, but that little thank you, that little nod of gratitude to them can make a really big difference. You never know in a stranger's life. So obviously people in the community, giving them a little bit of gratitude. And then the last one, my personal favorite, gratitude for the planet. So the environment, right? Like the fresh air that you get to breathe, the trees around you, things in our natural environment that are helping us stay alive, helping our earth, the place that we live.
Yes.
And then giving a little gratitude back, right? Doing a little bit to give that gratitude back to the earth. So like recycling or saving water, saving electricity, whatever it might be. But that's kind of giving a thank you back to the planet for keeping us alive.
Yeah.
Which is pretty important.
Yeah.
So different ways to practice this. Keeping a journal. I know a lot of people do this, having a little gratitude journal, maybe writing something down at the end of your day or even at the beginning of your day. All the things that we just talked about, anything that you're grateful for to yourself, to your family, friends, somebody in the community that you don't know, someone that you just met, or even just the planet, something very general. Another thing, like I mentioned before, maybe having a family routine. So even at the dinner table, maybe going around and everybody's saying one thing that they're grateful for.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people do this during Thanksgiving, kind of as a tradition, but doing it every day, making it a practice is going to really boost that serotonin level,
맞아요.
but also help your relationships as well.
I bet.
You can also practice this through meditation. You don't have to say it out loud to anybody. Just saying it to yourself. Even when you're walking to the metro station, maybe just giving yourself a little bit of gratitude for that day or somebody that helped you earlier. And then also saying it out loud. This is what we're talking about before. Telling somebody that little bit of thank you.
Although that meditation is, of course, very welcome, but nothing beats saying it out loud and actually to somebody and meaning it too, right?
Oh, especially to, I think, a stranger. For some reason, sometimes I think it means even a little bit more when a stranger says it to you than a loved one. So anywhere you go, that little bit, just a nod, smile, thank you, it spreads, ripples out to everybody.
For sure. So gratitude, as you know, there might be a lot of people celebrating Thanksgiving here in Busan as well. Of course, back in the States, a time for gratitude, to express gratitude to others, sometimes to yourself. I think this is also something that's very much needed. That attitude that we do need to keep up. I think towards the end of the year, I think just we do get a bit more emotional, and we are. For most of the part, thankful for a lot of stuff, that we had and went through this year to kind of build us up for the next year, right? It's 2024. But it's a good practice to start having now.
Yes, it's a high stress time, a lot of these times
exactly.
of year. So a little bit of gratitude goes a long way.
맞습니다. Well, Bonnie, thank you for coming in today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. That will do it for today's Me Time. Actually, Me Time will be back for the new season.
Yes.
Right?
I'll be here.
So we'll see you back here next Monday, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good week.
You too. Let's take a quick song break. We'll be back. This is ABBA with Thank You for the Music.
I'm nothing special. In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. If I tell a joke, you've probably heard it before. But I have a talent, a wonderful thing, 'cause everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want is to sing it out loud. So I say thank you for the music I began to sing long before I could talk. And I've often wondered, how did it all start? Who found that nothing can capture a heart like a melody can? Well, whoever it was, I'm a fan. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. I've been so lucky. I am the girl with golden hair. I wanna sing it out to everybody. What a joy, what a life, what a chance. Thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me.
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어 방송 Inside Out 부산의 품격 있는 Rider Steve입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in Gyeongdong and Yeonsan-dong, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
All right, folks, time to slowly wrap up today's program with our final segment, quote unquote. And with Thanksgiving coming up, and as Bonnie talking about, having this mind of gratitude, today's quote happens to be about gratitude. Today's quote comes from Aesop, and it reads, "Gratitude turns what we have into enough." Oh, I like this one. So the quote, "Gratitude turns what we have into enough." It suggests that the act of just being thankful can really change our perception of our circumstances. when we appreciate what we already have, things that are in front of us, rather than wanting more and more of things, it actually lessens our desire for more. And this could lead to a feeling of contentment and just being satisfied with your overall life. So with a lot of people out there, set to celebrate Thanksgiving in the U.S. and maybe here in Korea, here in Busan too. Yeah, I hope that it's not. This isn't the only time in the year that you think about how thankful and how this mind of gratitude that you should have towards things and people and situations. And hopefully this is a thing that a mindset that you could have more consistently, right? Because we live in a such fast-paced and materialistic world that these days we're so focused on wealth, success, and possessions. Often happiness and fulfillment, it requires nothing more, right, than just accept what we have now. It's not the easiest thing to do, but something to really think about on a day like today as we're talking about being thankful. So today's quote, gratitude turns what we have into enough. Yeah, hopefully our listeners can take that to heart. That'll do it for today's show. I want to read real quick our last couple messages that has come in from Yeonsan-님 on our YouTube saying, good evening, be careful not to catch a cold. Thank you so much, Yeonsan-님. 가보자고님, my gratitude goes to myself being more independent, my friend whom I could talk about anything with, IOB for educating and entertaining me, cute stray cats. These are all things you're thankful for, right, 가보자고님? Aw. Thank you so much for listening, IOB, in there. Our last track as I leave you, this is by Brown Eyed Soul, Daughter. Inside of Busan was written by Im Soo-jin, and it was hosted and produced by yours truly, Min Soo-shin. Have a good one.
느껴지는 밤하늘과 이 공기는 나의 곁에 덮는 까닭이겠지 별들이 하나 둘 어둠에 잠기면 헛된 기다림도 이 밤을 따라 떠나면 좋을 텐데 달아나도 가지 못해 미련은 무거운 짐이 되어 한순간도 잊지 못해
부산의 축제 어디까지 즐겨보셨나요?